So now we're going to see what we can do for weight savings on the lower, or what I call the lower assembly, on our Ruger Precision Rifle 308. We obviously have these two aluminum sides that go together and create the base of the lower. I think we'll be able to machine out some material there. We have this rear assembly that is the folding stock assembly. I think we'll be able to machine out some material there, possibly the clamp for that same assembly. And then we have some of the hardware, the safety, and the mag release. Not going to be able to do much with the mag release. Safety, I have some ideas. Hardware, I have some ideas. Just to confirm the weight, if you notice, the scale is at -0.2 ounces because that is the weight of these plastic bags. So we are not counting those bags. But if we weigh these guys, we should be getting our 1.35 pounds, which is 21.6 ounces. So there you go. That is our goal to see what we can do. So let's head over to the mill. So what we have here is the right side of the lower. Got it clamped in the vise. I've got a 3/8 end mill in here. I believe what I'm going to do is 3 passes along the side here. This is where the mag goes in, and I believe that will lighten it up quite a bit without removing a lot of strength. So let's see how it goes. All right, we are done with our 3 cuts and came out really good. There we are. You can see the 3 of them in there. Ooh, it's already light. All right, we're gonna do something similar to the left side, and then we'll do some more cuts on the inside that you won't see once it's assembled. But I'll do those cuts and then probably just see you back at the bench for a weigh off. All right, we are done machining the lower assembly. As you can see on these sides, I did some 3/8 cuts on there. You saw that on the mill. Drilled some holes in some of the thicker walls. Did the same for the other side, holes and some slots. Couldn't go the whole way on the slots because that's where the mag release mechanism goes. On the rear assembly that holds the butt stock, not a lot I can do. I just did these 2 flutes. I looked and looked, and this thing has been machined over by Ruger already. I did put a little channel in the little clamp for that. However, we are also adding some titanium. Let me show you that here in a second. Let me go ahead and put those on the scale, get that started. And then for the 2 screws that hold on the back clamp, those are now in titanium. And the 3 screws that hold the halves together, they are now in titanium. And I did purchase a titanium safety. That was a silly amount of money for a small part, but I'll be damned if I'm going to machine one out of titanium. So, and it is about half the weight of the stock steel one. So anyways, if you put those all together, you get 19.5 ounces. And again, I did the math for you. That is right here. So we've got, oh, that light throws a funky switch on there. All right, so we've got, what it was 1.350 pounds, but it is now 1.219 pounds. We have saved 0.131 pounds or 2.1 ounces. Another, good savings, not a stack, but they're starting to add up. So let's go ahead and work on the next assembly. All right, we're going to take a look at the bolt assembly for the Ruger Precision Rifle. This whole assembly here came in at 0.788 pounds. So there's actually a good amount of weight to work with, but not a lot of material to remove. Firing pin mechanism, nope. This aluminum shield that goes in back, I'm not sure what more I could do with it. I mean, even if you get the titanium one, aftermarket one, it weighs more than the aluminum one. Cap, plastic, the extractor, ejector, no. Really comes down to the bolt and the handle. So I have some ideas for both the handle and on the bolt. I think all we're going to do is some fluting. So let's go ahead and go over to the mill, and we'll start with the fluting on this. All right, as you can see, we have the bolt in the vise using 2 V blocks. It's kind of a strange shape because it's not perfectly round, but nonetheless, it is in there securely. We are going to do 2 flutes. It's an interrupted flute, so we do one right here, move over, and do one here and back. 1/2 inch carbide ball and mill. Here we go. And I do run the air so that it you'll hear it whistling, but it keeps all the chips and whatnot away so you can see what's going on better. Let's take a look, see how that worked. Yeah, it came out real nice. Nice and even, good finish. As you can see, actually, here's one I did on the other side. So it is looking good. We're gonna do, I think 1, 2, 3. 3 more smaller ones in back, and then that is the end. So the bolt is done on its machining, and I've assembled it with all the extractor, injector, and the back assembly and the bolt handle. So let's see how we did. Originally it was 0.788 pounds. We are now at 12.2 ounces, which comes down to this. 0.788 originally, 0.763 now. We saved 0.025 of a pound, or 0.4 of an ounce. So not quite 1/2 ounce saved on essentially fluting the barrel or the bolt. So not huge, but why not? Let's take it. It's there. It's free. Let's continue with our lightning project. Side note, the trigger group, which is another assembly. Here's the slip for that, came in at 0.319. I didn't do anything with the trigger group. Nothing was done. There was nothing to do. I could get an aftermarket one that would probably save an ounce or 2, but they are also crazy expensive. The trigger on the Ruger is fantastic. So anyways, trigger group is a 0 savings, as is factory. All right, here's a big one. Barrels. If you remember, we had the stock factory Ruger barrel came in at 3.444 pounds. That's with the barrel nut. So a lot of room to move there. And we are doing that with a proof carbon fiber barrel. These guys make some amazing products. Super high tech, super well made. The finish is phenomenal. I don't know if you can see that, but everything on this barrel is top notch. It's also 16.5 inches, where the factory barrel is 20 inches. So there is a lot of savings of weight here. How much? Let's find out. Remember, it's with the barrel nut. So it's 29.8 ounces. Totals come to this. The factory barrel is 3.444 pounds. The new proof carbon fiber barrel, 1.863. That is a difference or a savings of 1.581 pounds. That is huge. That is going to make a giant difference on this project. That is the single largest savings of weight in this project. Now, I could have taken this barrel, I could have cut it down, I could have profiled it, but honestly, I don't think I would have been able to match the weight and the performance of this barrel. So, and we'll talk about why I'm okay with using a 16.5-inch barrel. I think somewhere when we do final assembly and we get this all wrapped up. There you go, big savings. Let's talk about the buttstock assembly. Here's the factory Ruger one at 1.6 pounds on the dot. What I've decided to go with is a Magpul adjustable stock. It's super lightweight, it's super basic. I like the fact that it actually adjusts in length for a hunting rifle. That'll be nice when I have to pack it or move around with it. I can make the rifle even shorter. So we're gonna start with that. There might be in a phase 2 of this project where I might look into something different, but we're gonna go with this Magpul. So let's take a look at that. Now there are some parts that are reused, which is the tube, the buffer tube, but instead of using the steel, these steel guys, the castle nut and I forgot what that's called, made out of steel, I've got these titanium ones, very light, just something I thought would be fun to add, save a little more weight. So when we put all that together, we got 13, it's bouncing around, we're gonna round it up, 13.3 ounces. So what that comes down to is we went from 1.6 pounds to 0.831 pounds. That is a savings of 0.769 pounds. Almost half the weight. The weight of this new assembly adjustable is half the weight of this one. I know the factory one has all this nice adjustability, but honestly, I don't need it for what we're doing. I'd rather have the simplicity and the adjustability of that. So another, almost 0.8 of a pound. That's a huge savings. All right, this is a quick one. Here is the stock grip with its bolt and its washer. Came in at 0.2 of a pound. All I'm doing is I took a standard traditional A2 grip that I had. Doesn't have the thumb back. It's pretty light and hollowed out. I also added a titanium screw and then the stock washer. That comes in at 2.7 ounces. The math again shows this. That original grip was 0.2 of a pound. The new setup is going to be 0.169. That is a savings of 0.031 pounds or about half an ounce. So not huge, but hey, half an ounce, I'll take it. There might be some other things we can do. They do make carbon fiber grips. They are crazy expensive, but for now, we're gonna run this. All right, the last assembly in this project, which is the rail, the optics rail, was 0.263 pounds, and now it is something less. As you can see, I have done a pretty significant amount of machining to it. Put a slot there, cut it short. It used to be about that long and have 4 screws in it. I cut it short. We're going to 3 screws. I did allow for 1 adjustment on the Picatinny rail, forward or back. Right now it's set up for the middle. That seemed to work good for my eye relief. But let's see what we saved. So now it is 2.4 ounces, which is, we were at 0.263. We are now at 0.150. We saved 0.113 pounds or 1.8 ounces. That's pretty good. That actually ain't that bad. A little over 1/10 of a pound. I will take it.